Video number 502. How great is our God? This is one of my missions this year, to place more focus on the greatness of God than on the negative effect of sin. Once again, like always, God has been so patient with me. Like Hansel and Grethel getting the breadcrumbs that lead them home, God has also placed breadcrumbs for me to follow home, to the goal of almost rebelling against institutions placing too much focus on the negative effects of sin and too little focus on the greatness and the loving kindness of God. It all started on Christmas Day. I attended a church service with my family in a very conservative church. The sermon was based 80% on sending the church attendees on a guilt trip on how they fall short on being a good Christian, 10% emphasizing on all the immigrants abroad, family members participating on the brain drain revolution here in South Africa, creating an even more somber mood. So you spend time thinking about the things that you've lost in the fire. And then finally 10% on God making things new. This was God speaking directly to me. As I've already written at this stage the messages for January, and my universal message was God renews us and everything. So even in the war zone of a sermon, God spoke directly to me. Secondly, once again, like the breadcrumbs example, the repeat of this emphasis was within my own Bet-Seber team. 3 weeks later, one of the tools we use for the girls to treasure hunt their identity in Christ are personality tests. One of our branches used the Enneagram test, where one of the team members gave a very insulting commentary on the origins of Enneagram. I have heard the rumors too, but it is adorable how some people just think that God is so small that He won't be able to shine His light even in the dark world of the origins of a personality test. You see, darkness flees from the light. God is the light. Hence, once again, God is greater, bigger, and more filled with loving kindness than the origins of it all. If God sent crows to Elijah to feed him, crows was an impure animal, hence not from good origins, yet still God sent crows to feed him, using impure animals to deliver a pure and good loving kindness blessing to Elijah. God could have sent any animal, a pure bird like a dove, a chicken, or a goat, but God chose to send a crow. So I'm finished on my rant with the breadcrumbs that led me to this point. God proved and manifested His glorious power to me. That is how I repented from my all-time party lifestyle. I joke about it, but the truth is that my Bible was a coffee cup coaster back in those days. My prayer life consisted of an occasionally arrow prayer of please help me with this. I used my belief and my religion as a spare wheel instead of the steering wheel. I was in dire straits and consulted a spiritual counselor. I was in an abusive relationship with a lover. The spiritual counselor taught me how to do spiritual warfare. I tried it at home, it worked. I tasted and saw that the Lord is good. And once you have tasted the good stuff, you have this insatiable hunger of just tasting more. This is how God drew me closer to Him. Not through a guilt trip, not by placing the spotlights on my sin. And I had, and still have many moments where He showed me His greatness. And this is what gave me the insatiable hunger. So this is my mission for 2019. I would like to place more the spotlight, the emphasis on God's greatness instead of giving the enemy too much airtime in my videos. This is my constant prayer for 2019. Open up the fountain of creative ideas and inspiration so that I can fill up this YouTube channel with messages on how great is our God. The next video about how great is our God will follow shortly.